Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 133 of our Propy weekly webinar. I'm so excited to do a recap of the Web3 real estate summit that we just had last week. There was such a high level of excitement and energy in one place. We were at the Miami Convention Center again. They are incredible partners for us. We love hosting there. And I'm really excited to have a whole crew here to help everyone understand what it was like if you weren't able to make it, and then just to relive some good memories if you were able to make it. So I'm excited to hear from everyone what you enjoyed the most about it, and let's just chat through it. Mitchell, this is your first weekly webinar. You've been a part of Propy for how long?
It's been about a half a year now, I would say.
All right. All right. And you and I actually met at the last summit in March,
Yes, that's
right?
right. Yep,
I
yep.
think that was
Another
right.
great event.
So tell us what you do for Propy, quick background, introduce yourself to the world. No pressure.
Yeah, so I am Mitchell Ramond, and I joined Propy about a half a year ago when we had Natalia speak at one of our events, and I was so blown away by what she's told us, and I had no idea about this technology that right away I had to join this company, and I joined right away. And fortunately, I was able to come to the summit right around that time. And my background is I actually have a heavy background in marketing, but I also was a realtor for a period of, I think like 2 years. So I was able to kind of transition well into property because I also was doing real estate marketing as well. So it kind of worked perfectly, and I love technology. I'm big into NFTs and crypto, so it was a perfect match, honestly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, excited to have you here. You're first of many, I'm sure. For anyone that was at the summit, I would love to hear in the chat if you can just type through who was there, what your comments are, anything you have to say. Would love just to hear kind of what your thoughts are and how you experienced it. Yeliana, as people do that, would love to hear from you. You've been to so many real estate conferences, your background's in real estate. How
Not
was
as
it?
much, not as
Yeah.
many. But hey, I'm Miliana Salvyov. I work marketing and I work miracles for Propy, and the summit was a success. We haven't expected to get the crowds that we did. We also we're putting up the show at the time where things are cutting back their travel, they're cutting back their participation in the meeting. So we went ahead and boldly put it up, and we're glad we did. As Mitchell and Kelly started telling you all, the energy, the excitement, the came back from March when we had our first ever summit for Propy. We actually didn't feel that folks have had less enthusiasm about the space. Now, was there more topics for us to discuss? But all of the what happened in the last few months with the crypto in general did provide a backdrop. However, there's no question that the discussions were about the future, not looking back at what happened. The discussions were also how invaluable the technology, the Web3 innovation, that was palpable now in the space. One of our guests from the stage and said, look, last time we talked about what could be. Now we actually are talking about things that take shape with Propy, specifically how we have advanced in the few months of it. But Mitchell, I'm going to toss the ball back to you and ask you to talk about the internal things, right? The Propy didn't have that many Propy nights at the previous summit. What happened with our team? Tell us and give us like a quick, this was your immersion in the full Propy team.
Yeah, so we actually were able to get a lot of the team members, a lot of the members were able to come internationally from Bulgaria, I believe even Ukraine or Russia as well.
Greece.
So and Greece too, yeah. So it was amazing to kind of finally see some of these people for the first time in real life. We've been doing a lot of Zoom meetings, of course, and quite frankly, the entire team is just amazing. It's just a great group of people, and I couldn't complain about any of them. It's just wonderful working with all of them. So it's really nice to kind of feel that camaraderie in real life. And we had some team building events as well, like a dinner beforehand, and then another event afterward. And it was a great time, honestly, and really grateful to be part of the team.
That's fantastic. And yeah, Kelly, you are a mastermind of the summit, so the speakers were the treat. So I will probably wait for you to tell us all about that.
Oh yeah, we had, I mean, so many incredible speakers. And I think as the space really evolves and we go through this crypto winter, the companies that are bringing true value are standing apart. And it's really evolving what we're talking about. To your point, we're now getting into the nitty gritty of what it actually is. And the topics are evolving. The conversation is evolving. It's, it was just a great use of time. And the one comment that I will never forget that I heard someone say was, I've never been more convicted about anything in my whole life after these 2 days. So that made it worth it. It was in February or March when we said, hey, let's put on some summits. And then, I've had a lot of requests to do summits in other locations as well. So, I'm Miami based, so obviously we love throwing events here, but Ted Finkelman, who's joining us today, by the way, so great to meet you in person for the first time. Mm-hmm. You were pushing Dubai as a next location, lots of requests to do them in Europe or the Caribbean, New York, California, I heard. So, we certainly will at least have some conversation topics internally about where our next summit might be. I know we're talking about doing it again in March, but we'll see. Maybe there'll be another one thrown in there. What do you think, Mitchell? Where do you want to go?
I mean, I'm liking Dubai. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So that sounds pretty good.
But look, Ted, if you volunteered, or rather, some of our teammates volunteered you to give us a couple of thoughts of, you spent 2 days with us and the team. Would you please help us out here?
Sure. Thank you so much, Elena and Kelly. Yeah, I would really like to say it was really my pleasure to finally get to meet everybody. As a lot of people know, I'm on these webinars all the time because I really believe in this company and this cause, and it was really so great to not just meet everybody, but connect and have some of these higher level conversations about some of the things that we all want to do. All that said, it was a lot of valuable information to process, compressed into those couple of days. And some of those speakers were truly amazing. I mean, where else are you really going to get to see, some of the keynotes that we got to see in person? I was particularly impressed with Chris Smith. Bought his books and have already gotten through one of them, and can really see how we can put our blockchain crypto spin on some of the marketing that other people who aren't in this space really can't even talk about. I mean, there's roughly 1,200 of us, maybe, crypto certified agents out of about 1.8 million real estate agents, and picking up on some of the things that we learned there. A lot of people don't realize that there are 100,000 crypto millionaires, and there are 50 million Americans that have crypto. And even another stat is about 10% of the first time buyers used crypto in a real estate purchase in 2021. And so we, as a group of agents who are aware of this, are uniquely positioned to facilitate those kind of transactions, to help buyers who have crypto use it in the ways that we know, and to help sellers market their properties to a whole market of buyers that doesn't need conventional financing. So sorry to go off on that tangent, but this conference was really great. And I go to a lot of these things, and you always, personally, I always end up taking a few people away and end up becoming friends with them. And that happened for sure this time around. So I'll stop talking for a moment, and you guys can pick up.
No, we were taking a selfie after 3 minutes of chatting. So hopefully I'm on that list of one of your new friends that we knew of each other before, but didn't, weren't there quite yet. So that, I think, is what I like the most about these events. If I'm really thinking about it, our global team, getting to meet them, team members that you thought were just kind of serious, and then you realize, hey, they're really funny. Just adding an extra dimension to them, and then people that you've heard of or have known of, but then really understanding what they're into, what they like, how we could really partner together, because there's so many opportunities for that. So it's a lot of good takeaways. And I also started reading Chris Smith's book, The Conversion Code, is the one that we got. So on my flight the day after, I was getting through that, and I really just thought he had so many great takeaways. It brought me back to my days of enterprise sales at LinkedIn, and there's a lot of things there that were just good reminders, and great takeaways. So I thought he was fantastic. What other favorites for speakers? What favorites across the board?
Well, obviously it was one of the Arrington talks, the one on Friday, was really great to hear those guys go back and forth.
Oh, with Pomp. Yeah, with Anthony Pompliano. Yeah, one thing I always appreciate about Michael Arrington is he's just real. Some of the answers you may not like, but he says it how it is. And I just really appreciate the way in which he tells his truth. And it's pretty entertaining. So any specific takeaways that you remember from that? Or just that it felt like watching two guys hang out at each other's houses?
Well, I mean, you said it, that it was just like real talk, but it was the thing. They were kind of bouncing all around some of the things they were talking about, but sometimes the way somebody talks about something helps you understand it in a way you hadn't before, which is really the challenge that we all have with communicating about blockchain. But to see those guys where they are in the industry up close and that personal was really a lot of what I took out of that.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, I felt the same way. Mitchell, favorite speakers? Who did you like? Who did you just?
Honestly, Ted kind of took mine. I mean, Chris Smith was definitely my favorite. It was also the one that I got a chance to kind of see in full, because I was running in and out a lot. But also Natalia had a chance to speak. I saw her for a little bit, and that was a great one as well.
Yeah, that's always good to add some things, because the talk that she does, there are similar parts of it that we do sometimes. So I said, all right, everyone pay attention, and then give the similar talk, right, as we're talking about what we do. So I definitely always get some extra takeaways from her. Yeliana, favorites?
The panels that I ran were kind of my favorites, because I spend the most time with the fellow panelists, and they're easy to talk about. For a couple of things that I picked up from what Natalia was saying, right? She was like, Web3 brings liquidity to real estate. And that's something that we talked about, but this is, again, it's like ability to the blockchain, the immediacy of transacting, the speed, the immutability of records, it simplifies things a lot. And yes, I kind of picked up on the theme from that you mentioned, Natalia, as a keynote, and yeah, with everybody that you already mentioned, there are things from those panels where, like, okay, well, there's no question that from where we are, the path is up. There was some joking around about crystal ball and predictions on where the crypto is going to go. And so one of my panelists was Matthew. He likes the Crypto Matrix as his brand, and we'll leave it at that. But he talked about the cyclical nature of the cryptocurrency markets and how he observed things in the past. How it's important for the newcomers to understand where they going into the market and what the nature of things are as this is an evolving space and evolving industry. And Nabil Churani, who was also on my panel, he talked about the role of the NFTs and how the NFT space is evolving. So we are on the heels of launching our own NFT project, which is the NFT avatars and our shredders and meta agents. And there, we've had some of our owners of the avatars come in and participate in our gatherings and at the summit. And what it used to be, it started in the art sphere, and this is where the creators' economics and creators' ability to actually have a stake in the future of their art and claim the authenticity and royalty. But from where it is, the application of the technology and application of generally the NFTs changing, right? Where now the different industries are adopting the NFT as a representation of the value, even though originally it's no longer about the art and it is and will continue to be art and collectibles, but now the utility comes front and center. Like with our avatars, the utility of that image is really what creates the value, right? So at that point, we talked about the future of NFT world and where other industry, be it the cinematography and the movie distribution and the music distribution. So there's growth in adoption and application of technologies and application of blockchain in a variety of industries. We are closest to, of course, to the real estate blockchain application. That's what our platform runs on, and that's why that brings us to the panel, which was important and center stage for us as well, is the first ever title on blockchain. And Kelly, if I remember correctly, you were running that panel as well. So why don't you? I'd love for you what the takeaways were for folks that things that people said or things that people need to remember from that talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I loved running that panel because really that's why we're all here, right? Is doing, the title piece of it. And that's what Propy's business is. And so talking with Anna Atencio, who is the CEO of Propy Title that we work with every day, and she's so wonderful. Her depth of knowledge on title is just, Mitchell, I see you laughing. It's insane. She just knows everything. So we love working with her. And I just love how passionate she is about it. Generally, the title industry is a slightly more antiquated in a way, right? It's one of those industries that we say, gosh, this can be disruptive. There's ways in which we can use technology to affect this and to make this more streamlined and a better process for all of us. The closing process, I don't know if you've bought a home, but it's a pain in the butt. And so we're obviously making it more streamlined, more transparent, all of those things. And she saw how difficult it was, which is why she, came to us and why we partnered together to have her be so passionate about the way that Web3 technology is going to impact the space over time. And Kiva Chester is incredible. I feel like she's another one like you, Ted, that's like part of the team now. She's incredible. She's so passionate. She, in her past, has dealt with wire fraud and just saw how heart-wrenching that can be when someone loses hundreds of thousands of dollars. Can you imagine? And so she has that true passion for Propy and helping ensure her clients never go through that again, because as a realtor, that's really difficult if you're the one that has to share that with your client who's just lost all this money and, and there's no way to recover it. So that was an incredible panel. And then it was, we went back and forth on recording the summit. Were we going to hire someone to do it the whole time? The time that I regretted it most was really that we didn't have the entire thing recorded. So next time we have to do that, and maybe even have an option where people can join in the Propyverse. So let's maybe I shouldn't have put it out there, but really that's what I would be most excited about for our next one in March. Was during my panel with Yasmin from Florida Funders and Mags, and they just are an incredible source of knowledge. I had so much fun coming from the VC space, talking with them about what they look for in Web3 companies. If you're looking to do a side hustle, what should you be thinking about? How can you then, attract these top Web3 investors in the space? We also did a pitch competition where we had an incredible panel of top VCs in Miami there. Really, some of the names are, mind-blowing, just these top investors that were able to be there. Laura from Venture City, Dami from SoftBank. I'm going to forget Jake and Ladina from Coin Fund. Who else was there? But that was incredible. And that was a ton of fun. So that was another one of my favorites, is just getting, all the pitches out there and hearing what they all had to say. So what else?
Yeah, let's recap also who was in the audience, right? So we had the content, which was incredibly diverse, right? We've had folks who are crypto enthusiasts, crypto investors, real estate investors. We had a lot of real estate agents. We had industry representatives, industry partners, but the agents, among them, there were our crypto certified agents like Ted, who
we love,
we love, and who weighed in with his back. But some of the time we spent is actually celebrating our champions, and I call cheerleaders, right? And so we had a panel with several of the agents, Voyages Mitchell, Alex Kuzmichenko, and then Iona Graf. They came up on stage. I'll give you a little bit of a background. They didn't know they will be on stage. They didn't have to be on stage. And Mitchell and I cornered them up and say, look, we spent all this time talking about being ahead of your peers, being ahead of the competition, applying, as Chris Smith was talking, how to apply your knowledge, your ability to speak in this language of the future, emerging technology, new finance, how do you apply it day to day? And so these guys were brave enough to come up on stage and talk about it, exactly what they did and how they came across Propy, why they even started on this journey, and went through the certification. And so there was a lot of similar sentiment. We're still getting notes from our agents how they believe the more of the community building, the more ideas exchange, the more experiences change. Even mock discussions, presentations, and talking points like they would be doing in listing presentations among themselves and bouncing things that they right now cannot answer, but pulling on the collective wisdom. That's basically why we do this. In addition to everything else, we're bringing along this with the technology, with the pioneers in the space. We bring along the industry to support the agents primarily in order for them to be able to service the clients. And that's what was so rewarding. Building the community. We talked about camaraderie of the team, but hey, the team got to speak, sit down, and soak in the needs from the clients of ours that we serve in the real estate world. And that was incredible.
Yeah. And I mean, I keep thinking of just more and more speakers as we're sitting here. So I hope we get some of them back in March. But Steve Streetman was incredible. Did you guys hear him? He's a data scientist, wrote a book about just the space. He's like such an expert. He just had such a deep knowledge. And then Michelle Abbs, I can't not mention Michelle Abbs because she is the founder of Web3 Equity. And she was part of the Propy team for the summit. She helped us put it on, I was just so grateful to get to work with her that closely and get to know her her better. So she's awesome. And then who else do I just have to mention?
And Melissa Medina, who has done a lot in the space and has brought her experiences and her, you know, the community of Miami and greater Miami area. And that was a fantastic panel.
That was a good one. Yes, that was a good one. I was trying to get in there and kept getting pulled in and out for that one. I wish I was sitting there for that entire one. So I need, again, another plug for getting it recorded next time so we can listen back to some of them. Karen Prangley, also incredible. On Instagram, we had posted the question, gosh, who's your favorite speaker? What did you like the most? And she's one of the ones that people mentioned. If you have questions about the regulations, the taxes, any of it, she's incredible. She knows it all. She's my dictionary for all of those sorts of things. So she was definitely a favorite of many. So
right, we had some legal folks take the chairs on the stage, and we had some frank discussions about how the regulatory
disagreements. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Some disagreements. It did get a bit into the debate category, which exactly what we were striving for. It is an open and intimate discussion of folks who are charting the way and you know, and learning as well as building that space going forward with the guidance of legal advisors and strategists, of course.
Yeah, I don't love being on a panel and having someone disagree with me, but I love watching when someone disagrees with someone else on a panel. Just can't help it, right? So if you missed out on this year's Web3 Real Estate Summit, please come to our next one, which we think will be in March of 2023. So we have a wait list, which is the same website as we've used before. So it'll be linked in everything where this is online. And then to learn more about Propy and Propy Title, there is a Get Started link that Mitchell has been the mastermind behind setting up, right? So if you are a real estate, if you're a financial professional, if you're an investor, if you want to advance your knowledge about Propy and Propy Title, if you are a home buyer, if you are a realtor, any of it, please click on the link, click to get started so we can get in touch with you and better understand how we can partner together. We would love when you're looking to buy or sell your next home to do the title piece of it. If you're a crypto, metaverse NFT enthusiast, we have obviously a long wait list to do NFTs of homes, but get on the list and get connected with Vera or someone else on our team to do that. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining, and really excited
stay tuned for those webinars of ours of every week, because many of our speakers from the summit welcome opportunity to come and participate in our webinars and promise to be on our next on the agenda. So please join us in the future as well on those webinars.
Yes. We're here every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern time, my time. Of course, we're all over the world, so a different time for everyone, but 4 o'clock Eastern time, wherever that is in the world. And thank you, everybody, for joining and sharing. Oh, one last quick comment in the comments. Mark Stiles, I was from Boston. I was in Miami. It was amazing, mind-blowing, actually. So thank you so much, Mark. That means a lot. We work really hard on these, and it's really fun to get everyone together. So say hello next time that you're there, and appreciate the kind words. So
as we're wrapping up, G, you might want to put a few of our photographs, and we end up in the carousel of the photos from the events. But thank you very much for joining us. I think we're completing our live broadcast as well.
Oh, G has some pictures. Let's see.
Right.
Okay, there we go. And Michelle Abs. Yep, that's the room. There we are. So many good things. That's part of the panel. Oh, there we are. And some of the team.
Right.
Pump. Yeah. Harrington. There you go. Chris Smith. All right, the FOMO is real. I'm sure if you were not there, now you have it.
Was a good time.
The whole team and Tony Giordano. We didn't mention Tony Giordano. He's incredible.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Gosh, okay, my fault. He was incredible. That was a really good one as well, and a lot of fun too. Him and Alvaro Nunez. Yes. So also incredible. All right. Thank you everybody for joining. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.